登録して。
Car D Kaizoku.
This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. This video is sponsored by Sleeve Chief. There's a major restock coming for a lot of their popular sleeves, and they're going to be releasing a new Enel, Dawn sleeve, and Hollow sleeve as well. Use code CARDKaizoku for 5% off your order. So it is August 12th, which means that they're making their ban restricted list announcement today. Right now, actually, I stayed up until 3 a.m. to make this video and have it ready ASAP. So you guys want to know what happened, right? If you're just waking up right now, well, Red Purple Law and Ennie's Lobby are going to be banned starting September 1st. That's right, the leader is outright banned, and then the stage card, Ennie's Lobby, that activates a lot of what Lucci can do. That is also banned. This hits the top 2 decks in the meta. Well, it completely removes one top deck in the meta completely. And then Red Purple Law, just like with the Sakazuki ban, he does get an errated version. So what this one does is, unfortunately, he is quite dog shit, to put it plainly. So he's still red purple, still 5000 power, still 4 starting life, but what his leader ability reads is activate main once per turn. You can return 3 Dawn. Activate main once per turn, Dawn -3. You can bottom deck one of your own 3000 power or less characters, and then you can cheat out a 4 cost or lower Heart Pirates card from your hand. So yeah, this leader is considerably worse now. Not only can you not remove something on your opponent's board, you have to bottom deck your own character to do this, right? Get that straight in your mind right now. And then he's restricted on what he can cheat out. It's a Heart Pirates card only, so you're tight restricted on what you can cheat out. You have to bottom deck your own character. The pool of 4 cost Heart Pirates characters aren't that great too, and then you have to use Gordon. I don't think you can even use Gordon on your own cards, can you? Maybe you can. I have to check the wording on the card, but yeah, other than that, you'd have to like bottom deck your own searchers. So this leader is pretty much unplayable now. I think he got hit worse than Sakazuki. I don't know why they couldn't like try to at least make it playable, right? It's kind of like they gave up with Sakazuki and Red Purple Law. They're like, oh, just give it like the worst leader ability ever. Don't give it any support with the existing cards. Don't take the time to, I don't know, put some thought into it and balance it so that they can still be playable. Just outright get rid of them. Sweep it under the rug. It's not our problem anymore. I don't know. I don't really like this approach that they do. They've done it twice now. That's not a good sign, right? This is showing a pattern now. If it was a one-up with Sakazuki, we could just chalk it up to like, oh, it was their first time, you know, they didn't want to like under-nerf it because it was performing so well. So just for the first time as an experiment, let's over-nerf it and see what happens and then learn from that. And then it looks like they learned to nothing. So they did like the exact same thing. So I don't know. They even gave him cool art. I feel like this art is wasted on the card now. But who knows, maybe they'll print like some strong 4-cost Heart Pirates in the future. I doubt it. And with the way that they've been releasing sets, I don't think they would have designed for this kind of band ahead of time. Up until 09 at least, maybe 010. Now probably 010 won't have anything that helps this leader out. It might be like OP11 onward. But yeah, no more Red Purple Laws. So this has major ramifications in the meta, right? Red Purple Law is quite the like gatekeeping deck. It's pressure and aggro and ability to swarm the board keeps a lot of decks from being able to play in the meta. With him gone, I do think the meta might slow down just a little bit. So I think some of the biggest winners from this would be Pudding. I think Pudding actually has a chance in the meta now, right? Against every other slow deck like Enel, Lucci, Black Yellow Luffy, Bonnie, Vegapunk, because one Vegapunk showed up, so I have to name drop him now. Pudding actually does pretty well against those guys. You're slow enough to ramp to 10 and play your 10 cost big moms and chain them and then build a lot of advantage off of that. Red Purple out was just so much pressure early on that it was hard for you to survive that long. And by the time that you can play your late game, you die to being unable to counter multiple hits because you're limited to how many counter you have in hand, you know? The other big winner would be potentially Kalgara. This is just my, like, I don't know, my bias, my pet pick. I hope Kalgara sees play after this, more play. They did not print any support in 09 though, so that makes me think that maybe there's a chance he won't, but I don't know. I'm still hopeful for Kalgara. Now that Law's out of the picture, that opens the slot up for like, what's the next best like pressure aggro deck? What's the next swarm deck? And it's Kalgara, potentially, because he has the defense to play like both offense and defense, right? With all the yellow event counters. Other option would be this asshole, right? Blue Doflamingo got a bunch of buffs in the past 2 to 3 sets now, right? He got a bunch of warlords from EB01. He got warlords in OP07. He got a whole new freaking starter deck that supports specifically him. So yeah, it's no surprise that he is quite strong now. He's able to play 3 to 4 characters a turn, which is almost kind of worse than Reparable Law, except that yeah, he can't remove something while doing it, so that's, I guess, the trade-off. You swarm your own board, you don't control your opponents, well, until you play Gravity Blade, which didn't get banned, so yeah. So I could see him filling in the space of Reparable Law, the next deck that people are going to complain about once he's gone. He even has access to an unblockable event card too, that kind of is pretty scary. Like Reparable Law didn't have that. He had to like do math and work around getting rid of your blockers to attack at you. Doflamingo can pressure you to 0 and then swing 15k at you. So yeah, Doflamingo wins pretty big here too. So Lucci got hit quite hard, losing out on Eni's Lobby. That's a free -2 cost every turn. It makes a lot of the math in your removal a lot easier. This does change up how he's going to play quite a lot, I think. Especially because the Eni's Lobby was a big factor into determining the mirror, like how you dealt with your opponent's 8 cost Gecko Moria. Because with your leader ability plus Eni's Lobby, that's -3 cost plus a Helmeppo from your trash that you play with your Gecko Moria. That helps you KO your opponent's 8 cost Gecko Moria because it brings them to 2 costs, and then you can play a Lucci out to KO it that way. Without Eni's Lobby, with your leader and the Helmeppo, the max you can reach is 4 Dawn, right? And then the Eni's Lobby is something you played on a previous turn, so you already made that 2 Dawn investment early, so you have it like free for the turn that you use it, the -2 cost. Now you actually have to like spend Dawn to achieve that extra -2 cost, which can be achieved with something like Soap Sheep for 1 Dawn. It's -2 cost to 2 different characters. But yeah, other than that, this card doesn't really provide too much utility, so it's kind of functioned like a Gordon now, like the -3k Gordon. And then the other option is, of course, Ice Age. I think this card might see more popularity now that Eni's Lobby is gone. Because yeah, it's a 1 card answer to Gecko Moria. Well, to get him in range to KO, at least. Right, 1 Dawn for this, and then your leader ability. That's -6 cost. You don't even need to bring back a Helmeppo. Or you could bring back the Helmeppo and KO something else they have on board, right, with your Lucci. Because Gecko will be 2 cost after an Ice Age and your leader ability, and then you can Helmeppo like a 4 cost they have to bring it to 1 cost. That KOs a 2 cost and a 1 cost for you when you play your Lucci. So yeah, I guess Ice Age if you want to go kind of tall, and then Soap Sheep when you want to handle your opponent's like Doflamingo 5 character board. So you don't have access to your Eni's Lobby to make early KOs easier this way with your Luccis and stuff. So yeah, Eni's Lobby was kind of like a one-size-fits-all solutions to either Swarm or going tall decks. Now you actually have to tech, right? If you want to run 2 copies of Soap Sheep to handle the wide boards and then 2 copies of Ice Age to handle the tall boards, that's something you have to like actually make a conscious decision in. But to be honest, it might just be 4 Ice Ages and then Soap Sheep is not really needed in the aggro matchup. I don't know, who knows. Ice Age is really good. Especially as a trigger too, you can kill at 3 costs, so that might help you too. And then yeah, Gecko Moria managed to evade the ban, so all the black decks that ran Gecko Moria, which is like every black deck, still gets to run them. So yeah, Lucci gets to keep the power of 8 cost Gecko Moria. Black Yellow Luffy, this guy, his deck remains completely unfazed. He did not or cannot run Eni's Lobby anyway, so nothing different for him. Business as usual. And in fact, he might be considered a winner of this ban list too, right? Reparable Law can't blitz him down. People thought Black Yellow Luffy was a counter to Reparable Law, but that's only against Reparable Laws who don't know how to play against Black Yellow Luffy. So once you kind of figure out what Black Yellow Luffy needs to do, it's pretty easy to play Reparable Law into him. But yeah, now you don't even have to worry about it. He's gone from the meta. I also think Nami wins pretty big from this. Reparable Law being able to like bottom deck her characters, putting cards back into her deck means that her win condition is harder to reach. But we can see in the West right now too, with Reparable Law's lessening popularity in our 07 meta, Nami has been able to top tournaments, been able to win tournaments, regionals, top level stuff. So with Reparable Law, the like turbo busted version completely gone from the meta, I think Nami might actually have a bigger representation, especially since like the only aggro deck she has to worry about would be Kalgara and Doflamingo, which can't put cards back into her deck. So, well, I guess Doflamingo can with Gravity Blades and stuff, but I do think Nami's gonna get a lot more play in the East, and then that's gonna embolden the Western Nami players at the moment to invest even more into the deck. We could even see Nami card prices go up from this. It's actually only really the leader that's expensive, right? So those were my thoughts on how the meta is going to change after this ban list. It's going to happen on September 1st, so that is like the day after OP09 releases in Japan. My wish list is that they implement this ban during our OP08, right? Because this is a ST10 leader and then a OP03 card. It's not gonna like drive down the sales of any OP08 product for us, right? I don't think. Well, I guess like on cards like Black Maria and Pudding it might, but yeah, I don't know. I would like not to have to go through an 08 meta with Red Purple Law being at the top, being so oppressive. But to be honest, I kind of have no faith that they will do that. I think they're going to make us get the bans the same time that they happen in Japan. So we have to go through all of 08, all of 8.5 to deal with this menace in the meta. And then we'll get it when we get our own OP09 release, which is going to be in December. So my prediction is we're not going to see this ban until December. It's not confirmed. Bandai could surprise us and then like give us a healthy meta in 08 after seeing how kind of toxic it was in their region. But yeah, again, I really don't have any faith that they're going to do that. They haven't done anything in the past to indicate that they would do something like that for the sake of the game. So that's where my kind of pessimism comes from, just from the current track record. So yeah, I have like some experience to go off of at least. I'm not just pulling it out of my ass. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you like these bans? Do you hate it? Do you think Red Purple Law should have been able to stay and then they banned Black Maria and Pudding instead? Because that's what a lot of people were also asking for instead of banning the leader. That's what I was asking for too. I don't like when leaders get banned, right? Red Purple Law, as we can see right now in the 07 meta, is not as popular. So I don't think it was the leader that was a problem. It was Black Maria and Pudding. But I guess Bandai thinks that kind of prevents them from printing cards like Black Maria and Pudding in the future if Red Purple Law exists. So yeah, they're just making it easier for themselves. I don't know, a little lazy in my opinion, and just getting rid of the leader itself instead of like type locking or leader locking the future purple cards. And yeah, let me know if you thought Andy's lobby needed the ban or not, and what you think of Gecko Moria evading the bans and Forecast Lucci evading the bans. Those are also highly contentious picks that people were expecting, but they managed to survive. And we saw this coming, like Gecko Moria got a premium booster reprint, and then Lucci is a SP card in the 09 set, so people weren't expecting them to be banned anyway. The evidence was like writing on the wall at that point. But yeah, crazy news. Gonna have a lot of ramifications in the meta without Red Purple Law. Really interested to see how it's gonna shake up, but we're not gonna see it until 09 anyway. So 09 leaders are looking pretty strong too. We're gonna see a lot of 09 leaders in the top meta too, I feel, which kind of begs the question, I don't know, would the release of the 09 leaders have like balanced out the power level? Maybe like the new leaders are strong enough to fight against Red Purple Law. That's something we're never going to be able to see, because yeah, Blackbeard pretty much cancels a lot of the cards in Red Purple Law, so maybe that would have been like the counter. But yeah, they're just going to get rid of them completely, but not until 09 again, so the rest of 8.5 we'll still be seeing Red Purple Law in tournaments and stuff. Yeah, that was the news. I thought I should rush this video out so that you guys are caught up, and I wanted to give my thoughts on it before getting polluted by what everyone else is saying, right? These are my pure thoughts coming from me right off the bat. Didn't want to be biased in any way. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.
Car D Kaizoku.